welcome to the Kitchen Talk podcast. I'm Matthew Dinsmore. If you don't know me, I am an up-and-coming rapper in Belfast. I'm a Forex trader. I am a former pleasure boy. And most importantly, I'm an amateur stand-up comedian. And this is my new podcast, Kitchen Talk. As you can tell, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that I am situated in my mother's kitchen. Can I just also point out, I feel like I need to get this out of the way. This isn't the way the kitchen's normally set up. This is just for purposes of the podcast. This isn't some illusion of like a high-tech or high-budget podcast studio. This is quite literally my ma's kitchen. No one would sit like this. No one would have their kitchen set up like this. I mean, we've got the table in front of the oven. It just wouldn't be practical. How would you get thick? Although, in saying that, we don't actually use the oven. We are a big air fryer household. That thing is the best invention ever. I'm not here to talk about air fryers or ovens or other kitchen appliances, despite what the name might suggest. No, I wanted to make this podcast just because, there's a lot of things I write down to write material out of, and maybe they're just not quite good enough. They're, for lack of a better word, absolute shite. And so I thought, but they're good enough. They're good enough for you to have a conversation with someone about, for someone else to get entertainment out of, or even for my own enjoyment. Do you know what I mean? And so that's why I've made this podcast. But also, if you've ever, gone back to someone's kitchen after a night out, you'll know fine rightly the kitchen is where all the absolute shite talk commences. And rather than calling the kitchen, or rather than calling the podcast shite talk, we've decided to go for kitchen talk. So thanks very much for giving me your views, attention. I don't know. That sounds very desperate, doesn't it? Please give me your attention. I suppose that's what it's all about really anyway, isn't it? But that's fine. You'll notice that there is another chair sitting over there. It is empty right now. I also did splash out and I purchased not one of these gaming mics, but two. So in the future, it won't just be me sitting talking to myself in the kitchen. It will be other, maybe comedians, maybe just anyone who wants to come on, have a chat. So, if you've made it this far and you're someone who wants to come into the kitchen and have a conversation, feel free to approach me. I probably will approach some people. There's some comedians out there who I'd love to get into my ma's kitchen and have a good talk with. Not in a weird way. I don't know why I said it like that. But I'll probably approach them in the coming weeks, months, probably not days or hours, as a matter of fact. But yes, it won't always just be me. So you'll be able to look at someone else and listen to someone else talk absolute shite. Just a note as well, I'm not going to approach... This might come across, white, straight man who wanted another white straight podcast. I think there was a gap in the market for it, to tell you the truth. So there may be a lack of female, what's the word I'm looking for? Representation on this podcast. And for the sole reason being, I'm not going to approach women and say, here, look, I have a podcast. Do you want to come around and speak to me in my ma's kitchen for an hour? That's just fucking weird. So if you are a woman and for some reason you do want to come and speak to me, not like that, okay, I regret saying that already. If you are a woman and you would like to appear on the podcast for whatever reason, you have something to talk about, I'd love to have you on. Just give me a shout. But for the meantime, I'm not approaching any women because that's just fucking weird. But yes, now that we've got all the pleasantries out of the way, let's get into the nitty-gritty part of the podcast. What I've got a series of topics that I think we should talk about right from the beginning. One of the topics I want to discuss today is, it might be quite, I don't want to say controversial. It's not controversial. It's just not very nice, my opinion on it, and that's fine. It's all about having the opinion, and that is, people from Northern Ireland just shouldn't try to be rappers, to tell you the truth. Our accent, the way we speak, our mannerisms, just none of it goes well with rap music. And that's just the cold hard truth. And I think some people need to just get that into their heads. I'm not going to name names, obviously. We're not about that. There are, don't get me wrong, exceptions to the rule. Kneecap are very good. Um, but then again, they're not really like, rappers as such. They're not doing sort of like, Playboy Cardi, but Belfast. That's not what they're doing. They're making their own music. They are Irish language. That's their whole niche. It's Irish language rap music, and they're doing a very good job with it. So I don't mean them, obviously. So they're before anyone's like, oh well, Kneecap are fucking Irish rappers and they're fucking good. I don't give a fuck. They're not the same category. I'm talking about people who are rapping over Kanye West beats, or maybe not even Kanye West beats, just anything in general in our accent. It just sounds fucking horrific because you think about the way we say some words, and it's just so aggressive, like per, per. I don't know why it was the first word to come into my head, but per. What do you like? Per stairs. It's just not. I don't know what way to put this into words. It just doesn't sound right, to tell you the truth. Oh, my laptop's just decided to shit itself there. We might need to change that setting. See, we're just going with the flow here, to tell you the truth. But there are people who are like, the thing that gets me the most is rappers, and it's in any rap music. They're all rapping about like their self ego, their how good they are. They're the greatest. I'm the number one MC. Don't know who said that. Don't know what song that's from, but it's something along those lines. People are saying like, you can't rap, you can't battle me, son. I think that's a Wu-Tang Clan lyric. I'm not too sure, and that just doesn't sound right in our accent, because I think the reason for that is, as a people from Belfast or Northern Ireland as such, we are quite sort of modest. Maybe I would go so far as to saying self-hating. No one likes a Billy Big Balls. Nobody likes fucking someone who thinks they're the dog's balls. Do you know what I mean? And so whenever you're rapping in your fucking lyrics about how many bitches you're fucking or how much money you're getting, I feel like, one, you're lying, obviously. Two, it's like, let's just tone it down. Nobody likes a show off, mate. You know what I mean? It doesn't have the same sort of flair as when a American rapper does it or something. And you're talking about this lifestyle that you're living. You're not. You're living on the Lisburn Road in a 4-bedroom student house, and you've got to do HMO investigations whenever you're there. Let's be honest, you're not having the P Diddy parties that the other ones are doing. In saying that, now you probably wouldn't want to be having P Diddy parties, but back in the day, now anytime someone has like a bit of money or something, they're always compared to P Diddy. I don't know who you're going to compare people to now. Elon Musk, probably not. He is a Nazi, so he's out of the question. What am I even talking about, to be honest? Who the fuck knows? I couldn't have been at the P Diddy parties because I have sensitive skin and I would come out and thrush afterwards. So that's just me clearing my name in case anyone thought I was at those P Diddy parties. There was actually this is the beauty of the podcast. We've got rolling and we're just gonna fucking talk shite now. This is what kitchen talk's all about, just talking shite in the kitchen. You might have noticed there, I've moved one elbow. It was on the radiator. I've moved it over now. Well, not the same elbow, obviously, over to the counter. That's why the podcast is actually set up in this format. It would also make sense. You can see this microphone here. It does have a wee bottom on it to put on the table, but I'm going to use it to hide my double chin for the remainder of the podcast, so I hope you are all right with that. What was I talking about? Drewski? Yeah, he got into a bit of hate. So sort of like rumours or like fake documents going around the Twitter sphere that he was involved in the P Diddy parties. I don't think anyone knew who the fuck Drewski was whenever P Diddy was doing all that shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, he realistically, he's a TikToker or an Instagram realist or something like that who's making sketch comedy things. No one's going to assume you were at the Diddy parties. Do you know what I mean? But in a sense, he almost, it's like the saying goes, any publicity is good publicity. And while, some people might think, oh, if I'm being linked to the P Diddy parties, people are going to think I'm doing all that shit. However, it actually almost comes across as sort of like a status of like wealth and popularity. Like, fair enough, he was doing all that wrong shit at the P Diddy parties, but he was actually invited. Was I invited? No. Were fucking you invited? Probably not. For good measure too, but it would have shown that you were someone to get invited to begin with. Now, I feel like what I've just said there might make it seem like I wanted to go to the parties. I didn't. I'm just saying it's the image of your sort of like status of what would actually get you into those parties, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. However, what I will say is nothing. I'll edit that part out. What was I talking about? People from Northern Ireland just shouldn't be rappers. Yeah, again, I'm seeing more and more of these people. There was, okay, I'm not going to name him, but I will sort of talk about him because, what's he going to do really? There's a guy who was from Newton Ards, and he was probably my favourite of the Northern Irish rap scene, and he just wasn't very good, let's tell you the truth. His words didn't really rhyme, his lyrics didn't really make any sense. I kind of think he might have had something wrong with him, but he was that much of a dickhead, it's fine to make fun of him. There was a whole thing, I don't know what way to put this without, incriminating myself or fucking lies and slander. There was rumours that he he could have went to the P Diddy parties. I'll say it that way. He did something when he was younger, and and it would have made him an appropriate selection for the P Diddy parties. And I'm not talking about his rap career, if you get me. And so that all blew up. But then, whenever he would go on TikTok live, and people would be like, "Oh, here, what about you fucking doing that thing?" If you don't know what thing I'm on about, fair enough. It's illegal and it's involved with a minor. Fucking work it out. People would come onto the live and they would say like, "Oh, fucking, what about you doing that there?" And he would just respond like, "Oh, you're just jealous. You're just jealous haters. You're all haters." And I think that's a fucking brilliant way to just go about your daily life. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking accusing everyone of being a hater. Why haven't you done any work? You're fucking being a hater to me. You smell like shit. Oh, you're just a hater. Why does your breath smell? You're just a fucking jealous hater. You're so jealous of me. What I've got and you don't have, you fucking wish you had it. Yeah, that's right. I don't smell like shit. You're just jealous. And it's like, I don't know if that's like if it's just like a thing for like stupid people to do. Because you do see it as well, even on like Facebook and stuff. When someone makes up rumors, or there's a rumor about someone, or there's information gets posted about someone somewhere. Be more vague. I'll try. There's negative stuff going about someone, and then they'll fucking write a Facebook status about it because that's what normal people do, how to react to things. And the people in the comments will be like, "Oh, head up, they're just jealous. They're just fucking jealous." It's like, why? Why does everyone assume it's just, I remember, I'll tell you the truth, whenever I was in primary school, and I don't know, for those of you watching, I'm overweight, right? I don't know, you might not be able to tell with the camera angle, maybe the clothes, maybe the lighting I'm wearing, but I am overweight, and I've been overweight for about fucking, what age am I, 26? Probably about 26 years. And people, you would get called fat in school. That's fine. I'm not really arsed. I'm a primary school guy. Do you know what I mean? I'll lose the weight eventually, he said to himself. Didn't. But that's another part. And, you would be upset about it. And people, my mum or dad would even just go like, "Oh, they're just jealous of you, son." Why the fuck are they jealous of me? I'm jealous of them. They're calling me fat and I'm fat. Why would I not be jealous of them? What do I have that they're jealous of? Fast forward 20 odd years later, who's got their own podcast? Fucking dickheads, you. Yeah, that's a bit of trauma there, maybe. I don't know. I'm not arsed, unless you are. What else have I got here? On the topic of lifestyle, fitness, and weight, I have written down in my notes here, Hyrox being a cult. Now, I have a friend, Luke, his real name's John Luke Brady, that is. He has just completed a Hyrox there in Glasgow. So a big shout out on the podcast to Luke Brady for completing his Hyrox. And he sent in this thing, and it was a patch that he got. No, actually, sorry, I should probably explain what Hyrox is. Hyrox is a gay exercise. No, it's not really. Well, it's up for debate. Hyrox is a series of exercises where in between each exercise you do a 1 kilometer run. I think off the top of my head, it equates to an 8 kilometer run, and some of the exercises are fucking lunges. I think farmer carries, pushing a sled. I want to say a ski erg, which is like there's like a fucking frame with two big dildos, and you just pull them down repeatedly, like you're milking a very, very well hung cow. You do that over and over again. And then there's my personal favourite, the wall balls. Now, Luke got a patch, and he was very proud of his patch, and his patch was for 100 completed wall balls. Yeah, I know. I haven't even put this out yet, and I can actually hear the audience audibly gasp at that news. Yeah, you're right. You heard me right. 100 completed uninterrupted wall balls, which is you. It's like a. I'm gonna guess a 6 to 8 kilogram. So it's either 6, 7, or 8 kilogram medicine ball, and you get down like you're squatting on some dicks, and you throw it up a wall, and over again. He did that 100 times. 100 times. It looked like he was squatting on a dick to throw a ball up a wall. Very proud of it. Well done, Luke. But the thing I have a grievance with Hyrox is, and this is a thing where I'll make fun of Hyrox, and people, these fucking weird Hyrox cult freaks will be like, you're just jealous, you can't do one. You can't do one. You're just jealous. You can't throw fucking balls at a wall. You're just jealous. You don't have a ski erg machine in your gym. I don't give a fuck. Tell you the truth, I don't wish I could do a Hyrox. It's pointless. It's very pointless. And why? What I mean by pointless, it's obviously not pointless to be in good shape. That's no problem. The exercises, as I've mentioned, what fucking purpose do you have of throwing a 6 to 8 kilogram medicine ball up a wall repeatedly? If I'm on a high ledge and my friend's down there with a fucking 8 kilogram shopping bag, why am I up a wall to begin with? I don't know, but this is the scenario I paint in my head. Am I going to be like, yo, please throw me that bag up here? And then I throw it back down to him. And then I'm like, actually, sorry, throw it back up to me. And we do that for multiple times. And then I say, let's just go on a 1 kilometer run. Why not? The ski ergs as well. I don't even think it looks like skiing, to tell you the truth. I've been skiing once in my life. And I don't think, from what I remember, we didn't really use the poles. So, like, calling it a ski erg is a bit generous because you're not really skiing. Skiing, I thought, was more in the sort of hip, the ankle, the bottom half of your body. In saying that, I wouldn't take my word for it. When we went on a ski trip, it was in 4th year in school, and I was the 4th year was the highest age, or the oldest age, sorry, you could be to go on the ski trip, because obviously next year you would have your GCSEs and you wouldn't be able to go to it. And so I went. So there was first years, or no, sorry, it wasn't first years. It was second years, third years, 4th years on the ski trip. And the way they separated the groups was the posh cunts. So those who had been skiing multiple times and could ski, they could put into the fucking expert ski group. And that was for most age groups. I think that was all 3 age groups. And then below that, there was the 4th years, myself included, who hadn't skied. So they would require lessons. There might have been 3rd years in that group as well, actually. And then there was the younger age groups, those who hadn't skied as well before also. So we go skiing, and I have this fucking Italian. It was in Italy. Look at that, both elbows up now. Who the fuck thought? I took them down again. I had this. Well, sorry, our group. We had this ski instructor, Italian guy that was in the mountains of Italy. I've made that sound really fancy. It was in Italy, and this Italian guy was teaching us. And, I got the basics down, the pizza and snowplow, where you go sort of like, I'll get the mic down. And that's how you slow down and speed up. So I got that down, no problem. Well, I didn't really get it down, no problem. The first day, we go up to the wee beginner slope, and I just fucking can't work out how to stop skiing. I just have a need for speed, and it can't be quenched. A thirst for speed, need for speed, who knows? Um, and so we get to the top of the hill, and I come fucking bombing it down, fucking pelting it down, serious speed. Um, and I can't stop. And so this Italian guy, he's shouting at me. I don't know what he's shouting. Snowplow, snowplow. Oh no, pizza, pizza. You know, like most Italians do. To be honest, that's all you can hear them say. Um, and I can't stop, and I just end up fucking cleaning out this German family. Um, it wasn't that bad because it was a beginner slope, so I probably didn't gain that much speed, and I probably didn't hit them with that much force. But it still would have been not very comfortable getting hit by a fucking obese 14 or 15-year-old on the slopes, to tell you the truth. And I lost a fucking glove, and I don't know why this is stuck in my head, but I lost the glove, and the rest of the trip I had to ski with one glove, and my hand was fucking freezing, like so cold. I can't remember what glove it was. It was either I was gonna say it's either left or right. Obviously, it was hardly my fucking middle one. um, but I lost the glove for the rest of the trip, and it was just fucking hectic. However, there is a point to this story, by the way. Um, so already it didn't set off a nice tone with this guy. He just wasn't really a big fan of me because I just couldn't get my head around skiing. Eventually, I did, and I was able to pizza and snowplow, no problem. We started going up the proper slopes. There was thinking back on it, I was probably just fucking stupid. There's if you've ever been skiing before, or if you haven't, I'll just explain it anyway. There's those lifts that you go up, and they're sort of like it's like a big pole and then a disc at the bottom, and you sort of get the pole in the disc and you shove it up your gooch, and you're not meant to sit down. And they tell you this so much: don't sit down, just use it to sort of drag you up. I just can't listen to instructions properly, so I try to sit down going up this fucking lift. Obviously, fall down, try again, fall down. It's not going well for me. This Italian guy, his blood pressures went up considerably from I started fucking skiing. Uh, Eventually work it out, and that's fine. And then we go up to the bigger slopes, and I don't know why, but apparently it's not sufficient enough to just pizza and snowplow your way through the Italian mountains. You have to learn how to properly ski, and that involves moving your hips and all. Now, this is where I just like he started going hips to the shoulder, or what was it? Hips to the valley mountain, no, hips to the shoulder, or hips to the shoulder, hips to the mountain, shoulders to the valley. What are you saying to me? What the fuck does that mean? Why? So I'm just twisting. What does that mean? Watching skiing videos now, I understand it. I haven't been back because I was that embarrassed. But this just fucking, as I say, I can't listen to the instructions. I don't know what you want me to do with my body and how it can help me. Let me just pizza and snowplow the whole time. And so I just pizza and snowplowed the whole time. And this fucking guy, I can remember because my friends obviously called me Denzi. And they called me Denzi. That's the way he said it. Denzi. And then I think he started calling me Mateo. No, sorry, I've got that wrong. I'll come to that. He was just shouting at me, Denzi, hips to the mountain, shoulders to the valley. Fuck you. Just let me fucking ski in peace. All right, Mario. That didn't work. He moved me down to the lower group. So me, a big fucking awkward 15-year-old, had to get moved down to the second and third years who hadn't skied. And that was just so demoralising. It was like getting put into the bottom set Miles class. Never happened to me, by the way. But that must be what it felt like, just with all the fucking, I'm not going to say it. You know the word I want to say. But it was just horrific. And that's why, and that's my skiing experience. Back to Hyrox, though. A bit of a tangent. Back to Hyrox. There is nothing. You listen to what I just told you there. The poles don't come in and do it once. But they call this the ski erg. You may as well just call it big wanks, because that's all you're doing. You're just doing big wanks on a big frame. When do you need to do that? And that's why I'm saying. And then go for a 1 kilometer run. 1 kilometer run. Do your wee farmer's lunges. Okay, is it a sled pull or a push? I don't know. There's either a push or a pull of a sled, I can understand that because you might need to move a heavy weight out of the way. You need to move your washing machine out into your back garden, out into your front garden for the men to take it away when your washing machine breaks. That might be useful. 1 kilometer run. Why? Why do that? And the thing is, as well, I've probably said the thing is, an extortionate amount of times. Extortionate isn't the right word to use there. We're getting sidetracked here. But the reason why it's a cult is they must. I don't know if someone does Hyrox. Can they please confirm this? I've only heard rumors and I've had my suspicions about this. But is it true that Hyrox, you have to take an Instagram story every fucking time you complete one? Is that what it is? Do you have to put up the fucking TVs they have in your fucking CrossFit gyms of you need to do 100 wall balls on your 1 kilometer run and then your farmer sleds? Is that like a requirement? Because, why is everyone doing it? I don't give a fuck. I'm getting aggressive now. I don't give a fuck how much you have to do. You've chose to do this. You pay the money to do this. Don't put it up. And then it's always with the same caption. Sweaty one today. With that wee red emoji with a sweat. Sweaty one today. Fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking weirdo. Sorry. I'm getting very... as you can tell, I feel very strongly about it. But it's because you're just jealous. You're just fucking jealous. Yeah, you're right. I wish I could fucking run 1 kilometer and then do a pointless exercise. And then I do wish I could run 1 kilometer. I don't even know how far 1 kilometer is. And I would like to be able to do that. I'm actually joining a running club with my ma, which is probably the gayest thing a man can do. Honestly, top 4 or 5 gay things a man can do. Being gay is obviously nowhere near the top 10. My ma has joined the running club, and it's genuinely all she speaks about now, and it is insufferable. It must just be this new craze of fitness where everyone has to tell you everything all the time about their fucking fitness. And saying that, my ma isn't that bad, she's not fucking one of these Hyrox freaks. She's just going for runs, and it's great. The only time I've done a joke about this before, but the only time I've ever seen my ma run was when the electric man came to check if there was a magnet on the box. So it's great to see her out running, and she's enjoying it. And so I've decided that as much as I am in the peak male physique right now, you can always do better. So I've decided to join up a 1 kilometer, or not 1 kilometer, it's couch to 5k, that's what you call it. At the minute, I'm all couch, know what I mean? But yes, I've just got sidetracked again. Hyrox being a cult, yeah. And what it is, I've been seeing videos non-stop on TikTok and Instagram of people competing in them, and don't get me wrong, I know people who do them just because it's a bit of fitness, and it's good to stay in shape, and it's nice to have that sort of level of competition, I suppose, because you're timing yourself and everything. But there's these fucking freak humans who compete in it, and they're like, they just want to win. And the thing is, as well, what do you actually win? It's not like you're competing in a team sport or anything. It's not like you're playing football where it's you've got cup finals, you've got leagues, there's things you can actually win. Like Hyrox, you're just getting a medal, I suppose, but you've paid to get it. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've paid to do this. You probably get the medal no matter what if you complete it. It's like running a marathon. Although, in saying that now, I don't want to compare running a marathon to doing a Hyrox, because that's not the same fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? What is a marathon? 26 miles. And what's a Hyrox? Fucking 8 kilometers? Okay, mate. Okay. If I was a marathon runner, I'd be insufferable. I would actually just wear the medal all the time. It doesn't even matter if it took me 4 hours or 90 hours. I would just constantly have that medal on me. Never mind, I did a Hyrox there the other day, and it was really, really good. I did it in an hour and 30 minutes. I ran 8 kilometers, and I did 90 ski ergs. I don't even know if that's a good amount, to tell you the truth. But there was the videos I've been seeing. Fuck me, the videos I've been seeing are there was a guy earlier on, and he must have won it. He must have been the first one to finish Hyrox, and he gets up on the stage, and what I'll do in future episodes, I'll work out how to use my laptop like I'm not some fucking pensioner, and I'll I'm recording on my phone. This is the issue. If there's any side note here, if there's any tech wizards out there who can tell me how I can record, um, like TikToks or Instagram reels or videos on any sort of thing at the same time as watching this, and be able to like edit it into the podcast, whatever fucking thing. Why? So like the viewers can watch along at the same time. That would be great if anyone could give me some tips. Okay, back on track now. But the video I saw earlier on, it was this guy completes it and he like gets up on stage and he's like, "Don't fucking forget who I am. You fucking know my name." And it's like, mate, just relax. You've done like an hour's exercise. You've done a fucking. It's in a convention center too. You're not. It's not like you're on the world stage. Another one I saw was a guy. They must have been doing the duos, partners, whatever the fuck it is, and they go up to the ski erg machine after their 1 kilometer run, and another person, he must have just got, the poor fella must have just got the wrong machine, and he went to go on their ski erg machine, and this guy, he posted it, like he actually posted it being serious, and he like pushes the guy out of the way and then captions it like, "Get the fuck off my ski erg." It's like, whoa, yeah, fucking rock on, that's badass. And all the comment, and he's wearing sunglasses. What the fuck are you wearing sunglasses for? You're indoors. It could not be to make you more aerodynamic. It's an hour. Do you know what I mean? A good time is what I think. My friend Luke, he did his in an hour 15. Do you know what I mean? What do you have the sunglasses on for? You fucking scared of the UV lights of the fucking lamps in the convention center? What's that convention center called? In is it? It's not in McGabry. Is it down where the Maze prison used to be? There's like is that Lisburn? I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. There's a convention centre. I remember going to it for a university open day thing when we were at school. That's essentially where you're competing Hyrox in. Just a fucking. It's not an arena. It's not a fucking stadium. It's not even a sports hall. To tell you the truth, it's a convention centre. Imagine going down to the fucking, I don't know, the Europa Hotel and running about 8 kilometers. You know what I mean? And then getting on like that. Get out of my fucking ski erg. All right, relax. And then there was a girl. This is the last time I'm going to reference a video because I understand it's not very funny listening to me describe a video to you. But this, I just wanted to, these were just in my head. It was a girl and she put up a TikTok and it was like, you know, the really like sad music. It's like fucking Toy Story, like when all the friends or all the toys get reunited. It's like all very emotional and stuff like that. And the caption's like, "Point of view, your mum's watching your Hyrox for the very first time." And it's just her ma is standing like all mas do with a flip case phone, fucking recording her with a blank expression, and she's fucking doing those wee lunges with the kettlebells, and it's like, what the fuck? It's not. If it was a marathon, fair enough, because a marathon's actually impressive. But your wee silly little fucking cardio exercise isn't. So fuck you, Hyrox people. Fuck you. Do some real exercise like me and do couch to 5k instead. I haven't even done it yet. Anything else on Hyrox being a cult? I'm quite conscious of gaps in the podcast because I don't know how to edit. And I'm just really winging this, to tell you the truth. So this all might just go out in one big clusterfuck of just rambling nonsense. There's probably things I need to edit out as well. Fuck knows. So I am quite conscious of, you know, taking a second for me to think about my thoughts and what I'm going to articulate to you, the listener, stroke viewer. I'm just reading my notes. They're not actually that extensive, by the way. I'll see if I can turn it around and show you. You'll not be able to see that probably, but that's the notes. And I've already 75% of the way through them. No, actually, I'm a liar. 80% of the way through them. Quick miles there. I've got 5 topics and I've done 4. And sorry, one of them was just a line saying podcast topics. So maybe I am 75%. Oh, fucking hell. This is not going to be what the quality's like for the up and coming podcasts that I don't have planned but will have planned. This is a topic now that it's been beaten like a dead horse. I think if you're into comedy podcasts, if you're not, and this is news to you, there's a laptop away again tonight. this is a topic now that, I've heard in a lot of comedy podcasts, but I just thought it is so funny that I have to talk about it. North Koreans, not just them, hold on. North Koreans were drafted to fight for Russia in the Russia-Ukraine war. And this is the first time that North Koreans have been exposed to unrestricted internet access. So naturally, like most men, they all just got addicted to porn straight away. Like no hesitation. The first thing they got when they had unrestricted internet access was porn. They were like, "Oh, fair enough. We've got internet now. What do we want to look up? Do we want to see, what everyone else in the world thinks about our country? Nah. Let's just see some fucking tits and ass right now." And I think that's just men. There's going to be people. Oh, men. That's my feminist voice. Men. That's what they'll say about the situation. But it actually goes deeper than that. Obviously, if we want to get serious, it's because they are in a society that's absolutely fucked up. And they've probably heard all the Russian guys talking about it. Like, Dmitry is telling them about, yeah, you can just look at people having sex on the internet, and they're like, oh, that was maybe, edging the line a bit there. So that noise, so we might not do it again. But that was them being exposed to it for the first time, and they just get addicted to it. And what I want to know is, obviously that whole topic's been, discussed in depth on other podcasts, but I want to know what porn specifically were they watching? What categories? And because I know Pornhub, they do a thing. I don't know if it's in the UK as well, but they've done things in America where they've shown every state's like favorite category of porn. One of them's hentai, weirdly enough, and it's like in the middle of America. Don't know what you call it. They should do that for the North Koreans. Just do a bit of a census and just ask them like, "Hello, so you've recently been addicted to porn. What one are you vibing with the most?" And it's just come into my head there. If you were addicted to it, would you really have that much of a preference in what you're going for? Like, I don't think an alcoholic would be like, "Oh, I'm not going to drink a Stella Artois. I only like Budweiser." Do you know what I mean? They're just going to take what they can get. But it's different with porn because you have such a wide selection of porn out there, obviously. And weirdly enough, like, because there are obviously a lot of white men who are exclusively Asian porn fanatics. I wonder if it for Asian guys, are they like, because all they've seen their whole life more than likely is just Asian people. Imagine being an Asian guy watching ebony porn for the first time. Like, what the fuck? They come in this flavor? Are you serious? It must be fucking insane, and that's probably why they got addicted at the same time too. Just that much information all at once, just fucking coming out at them. And then, like, how does that affect you in the battlefield? Because you're. I'm going to assume they were just straight up jerking it the whole time. They were just going to. Can I also point out we've went 38 minutes into this podcast, and I am only just now talking about wanking. That is really, really good. Timing for me, to tell you the truth. I thought it would have been a lot sooner, but we've made it this far. But now let's get into the nitty gritty. Wanking, are they on the battlefield now? Have had numerous wanks because they're addicted to it. They've had numerous wanks. Are they now worse fighters off? Or because at that point, what are you fighting for? After there's nothing like post nut clarity. For them, it must be like after ejaculation epiphany. They must be like, I see the light now. I'm never going back to North Korea. You have access to watching thousands of millions, probably, of videos of people having sex on the internet, and you can just get it for free all the time. Like, this is, I was working in a coal mine in North Korea for 20 hours a day, eating rats, and you're telling me you people are just out here wanking for free, and you're just and so imagine they're going out into the battlefield with their balls emptied. They're at that point, like, you wouldn't have that sort of your aggression. I know a lot of these alpha male sort of TikToker fucking virgins out nowadays, they're like really anti-masturbation because it's like something to do with testosterone or whatever. And they're I don't know what way it works. I've never looked into the science of it because it's never been something I've considered. But you know, is that maybe like, does it affect them on the battlefield? Is that why I've never seen a North Korean soldier fight? I don't know if they're very ferocious in battle. And is that because they haven't been jerking it enough? I don't know. There needs to be studies done on this, I think. Do you know what? While we're here, let's just look something up. And this might be for bad viewing. North Koreans getting addicted to porn. Very, very strong chance I'm going to get North Korean porn up on my laptop now. No, it's actually news articles, thankfully. Some 10,000 North Korean soldiers. Is that how many got addicted to porn? Let me see. Those soldiers have been engaged in a battle of the bulge since gaining free use. Credit to the New York Post. That's a hilarious way. The Battle of the Bulge, if you don't know, is a World War One, possibly World War Two battle that happened. And they've now called it Battle of the Bulge for North Koreans. I've just been hit with an ad paywall. As I say, we're on a low budget, so that's not getting paid for. We'll never find out how that affected them in battle. Although I think they're losing, the Russia and Ukraine. Isn't it weird how, I can sit here and talk about North Korean men getting addicted to porn, and it's ultimately about a war that's going on in Russia and Ukraine, and that's funny. Where if I said, anything about Israel and Palestine, that probably wouldn't be funny. And for good reason also, do you know what I mean? But I just thought that thought came into my head. And we'll just leave it there, probably. We'll just keep it in the head, and we'll just not talk about Israel and Palestine. This isn't a political podcast. This is kitchen talk. This is just shite talk in the kitchen. That's all on North Korea getting addicted to porn. I also did think the other day there, I didn't have this in the notes, but I did want to talk about it, and we'll probably finish on this. It's probably not even that funny. Actually, tell you the truth, it isn't funny. It's just a thought I had. So, I saw a video of a group of people bullying a fucking robot. Like, they're pushing it and kicking it, and the robot's like designed to just stand up. And it made me think, like, obviously, what happens when they become sentient and they want to fight us? Obviously, that's like a thought everyone has. But I want to know the effect on the technology industry from, like, this. I want to know the effect that the science fiction films have had on the technology industry. Because, when in the 1800s or something, I don't know what the sort of aspirations for world technology was. Like, did people really think in the 1700s or 1800s, whenever, like, I want a device that I can put bread into and it comes out toasted. I don't want to do this in the fire anymore. Did people really dream of that? And then if you fast forward a couple hundred years and people are like, I want a car that drives itself. Why? Do you know what I mean? And then are people then, or science or technology or science companies, whoever the fuck it is, are they then going and saying, well, this is an idea that people have had, they want to see fucking self-driving cars. Is that something we should make? And it's like, not really, no, probably not, because that's just not safe. And the statistics are more humans have killed people than self-driving cars have killed people, obviously, but it's just dangerous. This isn't also a fucking podcast about me hating self-driving cars, but I don't know if the point I'm making is also coming across. But like, we're making robots that can make itself stand up, and I actually saw one of a robot that was doing spinning back kicks. What in the clean fuck do you need a robot that is spinning back kicks for? Is it fair enough if it was like a robot to help train boxers or what do you call them, MMA fighters or whatever, and it's like a sparring partner? You don't need the fucking thing to kick back at you. You know what I mean? That's fucking titanium, probably steel. Any other metals anyone wants to name? You don't need that hitting anyone in the face with a spinning back kick. And so, is that then like, are we building things or like inventing things that we've seen in like films? Like, what's that fucking TV program with the flying car, The Jeffersons, or something? Is that like something that we're going towards, or like what is the effect that it's having on? This is absolute shite talk here. This is a conversation you would have in a kitchen. I also don't think it's making any sense what I'm saying. I had this very coherent thought the other day, and now I'm trying to say it, and it's just coming out like absolute fucking diarrhea from my mouth. And it's like fucking, oh my god. Like, are we basing our inventions and new technologies on things that have been suggested maybe in science fiction films? There we go. That's the fucking point I'm making. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to think now if there's anything else I'd like to talk about. Probably not. I will probably finish the podcast there. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. That was 46 minutes of probably absolute hell in your ears. I don't even know what it's going to sound like. My phone, it might not even have been recording the whole time. I might have had fucking 50,000 notifications on Tinder and my phone's just shit itself. Hopefully not. Hopefully it has all went well. And I'll try to get this recorded. I've actually recorded this on a Saturday afternoon. This is when I'm, for transparency, I don't know why, I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to try to record these on Saturday mornings and get them out on Mondays at some stage. I don't know, I'll edit it on a Sunday probably, hopefully, maybe, fuck knows, to be honest. This might not even go out, but if it does, I do want to thank you for listening or watching. I hope I haven't bored you or assaulted your ears, and I hope you'll listen again next week. And if anyone wants me to talk about anything, or they've got any opinions, any questions, I'll leave a question to you, the viewer stroke listener. If you had a toilet, right, and it was sentient, would you rather, first of all, would you rather it was male or female? And the second part of the question is, would you rather it crave your shit and piss, or would you rather it loathe you for giving you its shit and piss? Just think on that. I'll answer it myself next episode. We can go into deep depth about it, and I'll look up. This is the only recurring thing I'll ever do in this podcast. I'll think of a fucking weird question like that, and I'll ask you, and then I'll answer it next week. But if you have any ones you want to send me, I am all for those. They're very funny, and we can go into those. And if anyone, like I say, if anyone wants to come on the podcast and talk absolute shite with me, more than welcome. Just give me a shout. Thank you very much for listening. Oh, sorry. I should say, I have gigs, a gig, sorry, coming up in April here. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but hopefully it has been. It'll be No Joke in Ulster Sports Club. I don't know who else is on it, but if you want to come see me do stand-up as well, I also follow my stand-up page on Instagram, please, if you don't already do. And if this goes out on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube page. And if it goes out on Spotify, please also follow my Spotify page. Thank you again for listening.